Hi everybody. So I'd like to talk about the new exercises that we're posting for you to work on this week. Last week we posted some exercises with shifting from first position to third and then trying a C major scale in third position and then shifting into third position. So before you start this new set of exercises, please make sure that you've played those first. And actually today, before we try playing a G major scale, shifting into third position, we're actually just going to practice shifting like the exercises we had last week. So let's play a D in first position, D on the A string, and then switch from your third finger to your first finger, and that's in third position. Back down. Keep your wrist straight. Relax your thumb. So once you feel like you've got that with a straight wrist and a relaxed thumb, then let's move to our G major scale. So last week we did C major, so we have a different key this week. We've got F sharps. So please take a look for those. That means that our C natural on the A string is going to be a low 2 instead of a high 2. And when you look at this handout that we made for you, you'll see that I have a number 1, a dash and a number 1 written over the D, and there's also a Roman numeral on top. So the Roman numeral 3, what that means is that you're shifting to third position. So when you see a Roman numeral, that indicates what position you're in. The number indicates which finger you're going to use. So then you can see that we shift back down to first position on C, and you see a second finger there with a Roman numeral 1. So that's where we're back in first position. So let's try our G major scale, paying careful, close attention to the key signature. And this is also a great opportunity to practice using our fourth fingers on our A's and our D's. So next, let's try the D major scale. So this time we're adding a sharp. So we have F sharp and C sharp. So that means we have a high 2 on our first F sharp, a high 2 on our C sharp, and then again, where you see that Roman numeral 3, that's where we're going to shift to a first finger D, which is third position. So let's try the D major scale. Great. And please make sure also when you're practicing your scales that you are using a block fingering style. So that means that we start with our open D and then we put our first finger down, we leave it there, we leave our second finger there, we leave our third finger there, and then we keep leaving our fingers there, leaving our fingers down instead of lifting multiple fingers up at the same time. Okay, that just helps us memorize intervals so we know whether or not a note is a half step, which looks like this, our fingers are right next to each other, or a whole step, which you can see creates a space in between the fingers. So that's where we get those high and low 2s, 3s, whatever they are. So now I think we should start to maybe play some double stops. So I wrote out some very beginner level double stops for everybody. I also did post a set of more advanced double stops. If you feel like you've got a handle on this, you can start to look at those. But first off, let's look at these. So starting, we have measure numbers on this sheet. So starting on the measure numbers, measure number 17, and we want to make sure that our wrist is nice and straight and that our arm is around a little bit, not a lot, but you're not going to be able to keep your fingers in a nice rainbow kind of position. See, we have this space here. So if your fingers are too flat like this, if your arm is too around, then you're going to hit 2 strings and then we can't do the double stops correctly. So we're going to play an A and an E at the same time, keeping our bow in the middle of the 2 strings. Now we're going to put a B down, the first finger on the A string. Keep playing an open E. C sharp, keep playing an open E. D. Let's try that again. So again, we have to make sure that our fingers are staying nice and curved and not hitting our other open string. Let's try together. Ready, go. Now we go faster. So we're going to try doing the same thing on the D and the A string. So this is the same finger patterns, but just on some new strings. So make sure that your bow is evenly over both of the strings. Otherwise, you're going to get like this. I'm exaggerating, obviously. But we want to make sure that we're getting an even tone over both strings all the way from the frog to the tip. Okay, it's easy to let your bow angle kind of wobble a little bit. So let's try starting on the open D and open A. 1, 2, ready, go. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us and we will try our very best to help you.